Everything is remembered by water. Whenever someone spoke near it, thought about it, or prayed over it, it was heard. This isn't spiritual poetry. It's the basis of one of Judaism's most powerful healing secrets. In fact, the ancient priests of the temple were so protective of it that they would give up their lives to protect it. In the 1990s, Dr. Masaru Emoto shocked everyone by showing that words and thoughts said to water crystals can change their shapes. When prayers were added to water, it formed beautiful, orderly crystals. When water was angry, it made designs that were all over the place. He had found out again what Jewish teachers had taught him many years before. Water is alive and aware, and it heals. The mysteries that made King Hezekiah well again. The prophet Isaiah told King Hezekiah to get ready for death as he lay dying. But Hezekiah wasn't going to let this happen. Texts from long ago say that he did a certain water rite in which he recited divine names over water from the Gihon spring. He drank this water while picturing himself getting better. In just a few hours, his fatal illness started to get better. He was given 15 more years to live by God. This wasn't a miracle in the sense that God stepped in and broke natural law. It was the use of divine technology, using water to carry healing frequencies and reprogramming the body's cells through sacred speech and conscious purpose. Water is called mayim chayim, living streams, in the Talmud. Not in a symbolic sense living, but actually having a mind and memories. It was told by Rabbi Nachman of Breslov that water takes in the spiritual energy of everything it touches and passes it on to the next thing or person it touches. And why the Mikvah can heal things that medicine can't. The Mikvah, or sacred immersion pool, is the most powerful healing tool in Judaism, but it's been boiled down to a religious duty, even though it's actually a full method for healing the spirit and regenerating cells. Tap water can't be in the Mikvah. It has to hold water from a spring or rainstorm, water that has been in direct contact with heaven or earth and carries the memory of the higher worlds without being tainted by human consciousness. Every cell in your body comes into touch with this living conscious water when you fully submerge yourself. What really happens is that 70% of your body is water. A transfer happens when you immerse yourself in mikvah water that is charged with holy memory. The water inside your cells, which has been hanging on to trauma, disease patterns, and bad programming, starts to resonate with the clean water around you. The dirty information is thrown out and replaced with the clean blueprint that was brought in the mikvah waters. Rabbi Isaac Luria said that full immersion makes a moment of death and life happen. You stop being sick, wounded, or broken for those seconds while you're underwater. You become a vague possibility. You can actually be born again with a new set of memories in yourselves when you emerge, but only if you know how to direct the process with intention. The rock that Moses struck, a way to get better. A strange kind of water came out when Moses hit the rock in the desert. According to the Zohar, this was water from the underground rivers of Eden. These were the waters that were there when the world was first made, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. Before sickness, death, and corruption came into the world, these waters held the original plan for perfection. People who drank from this source got better in amazing ways. The weak got stronger, the sick got better. For 40 years, their clothes and shoes didn't even get worn out. Why? Because the water they were drinking remembered all things being perfect. It was encoded with the holy pattern of perfect health. Every drop of water that flows through our world is still that water. The key is to know how to bring its memory back. How to heal at the temple. In Solomon's temple, there was a huge metal bowl called the Yam that held a lot of water. Some priests knew how to program this water with specific intents and divine names, turning it into liquid medicine. This is what ancient texts hint at when they talk about the rituals that priests would do in this water. People who were sick would be given this water to drink. People who were going through spiritual problems would get lost in it. The water did more than just wash, it transformed. This water sent healing frequency straight into the body because it was charged with the holiness of thousands of prayers and the precise recitation of holy names. In one recorded case, a guy had leprosy, which was thought to be incurable and spiritually unclean. After being submerged 7 times in temple waters made by priests who knew the old recipes, his skin turned back into that of a child. It wasn't magic. It was using water's divine memory to change the setting of disease at the level of cells. What was done to hide this information? After the temple was destroyed, the Jews covered up these practices on purpose. They were afraid that people would use them for silly reasons without thinking about it or getting prepared. Water practices that are not meant to be meaningful are just empty words, but water practices that are done with focused awareness, specific divine names, and unwavering faith open the way for miracles to happen. It was compressed, so the information wasn't lost, hidden in things that seem very easy, like the ritual washing of hands, netilat yadayim, in when you have to say prayers over water, in the rules of the Mikvah. The technology was still there, ready for people who could see past the surface. The proof from science. What the wise people always knew is now proven true by modern study. Studies have shown that outside forces can change the molecular makeup of water. Water is affected by intention. Prayer changes the water. Words change the water. Because your body is mostly water, it reacts to these same things. You are not practicing superstition when you speak blessings over water. Instead, you are creating a conscious medium. Focused immersion in living waters does more than just get you wet. It also downloads new information into your cell phone's running system. Priests from long ago knew something that doctors are only now beginning to understand. The body can heal itself if it gets the right information. A lot of times, disease is caused by bad information or patterns of dysfunction that are stored in your cell's water. If you change the memory of the water, you change the body's reality. Tomorrow, we'll show you the exact practice, the exact words, the exact goals, and the step-by-step instructions that you can use to turn ordinary water into healing medicine and use it to heal things that regular medicine can't reach. The woman had been in pain for 12 years. Every doctor had failed her. She had spent all of her money on treatments that didn't help. After hearing this, she learned of a rabbi who knew the old secrets of water and could turn ordinary water into divine healing channels. After following his instructions for 7 days, her long-term condition went away totally. It was known as spontaneous recovery by the doctors. She should have known better. You are now ready to learn this life-changing technique and use water's healing power for yourself. The base: getting your healing water ready. The first rule is that you should never use tap water for mending. Tap water remembers being treated with chemicals, going through metal lines, and the disorganized mind of city systems. You need water that remembers how clean it was. Spring water is best because it has been through stone for years, being filtered by earth and charged with mineral awareness. If you can't find filtered water, use water that has been sitting in a glass bottle for at least 3 hours. During the resting time, the structure of the water can reorganize, which stops the processing of traumatic memories. Rabbi Isaac Luria, who was the Arizal, taught that healing water should be kept in clear glass containers. Sand is used to make glass, which stays connected to the land while still letting spiritual light pass through it. In the past, priests used vessels made from certain stones, like quartz for clarity, jade for mental healing, and sapphire for spiritual opening. How to heal with 7 names. The priests in the temple knew this secret. Certain holy names have healing frequencies. When these names are spoken over water with the right purpose, they change the molecular pattern of the water and encode healing information into it. From the 72 names of God, Mem-He-Shin, MHS, is the main name for healing the body. This mix has to do with restoring natural order and getting the body back to its basic health blueprint. Put this name on a piece of paper and leave your glass on it overnight. Through proximity and purpose, the water takes in the frequency of the name. As soon as you wake up, hold the glass at heart level. The heart is the body's nerve center. Imagine bright white light coming down from above, hitting the water, and triggering the divine name that is stored in it. Say this: "By the name of Mem-He-Shin, let this water remember how good it was. Let it remember the rivers in Eden, and how the temple was healed. Let every drop fix what the disease has broken." Drink slowly and pay close attention. Think of the water as light moving through your body and hitting the exact spot where you are sick or in pain. Watch as the healing light breaks down patterns of disease and reprograms your cells with the original health code. The 40-day immersion in healing water. For long-term or serious conditions, the full procedure calls for immersion in living waters in a mikvah. The tradition calls for 40 immersions spread out over 40 days. This is meant to represent the 40 days Moses spent getting the Torah on Mount Sinai, the 40 days of rain that cleaned the land, and the 40 years of slavery that turned slaves into a nation. Get ready in your mind before each plunge. You're not just taking a bath, you're dying and coming back to life. Take off all of your jewelry, makeup, and anything else that could get in the way of the water. These physical hurdles stand in for spiritual ones: your attachment to the sick person, your belief that the disease will last forever, and your fear that you can't get better. Go down the 7 steps slowly. Step 1 releases your fear. Step 2 releases your anger. Step 3 releases your grief. Step 4 releases your guilt. Step 5 releases your hopelessness. Step 6 releases your victim identity. And Step 7 releases your whole connection to being sick. Stand in water up to your chest deep. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Then make your desire clear. I let go of all disease. I let go of all pain. I let go of all habits of illness. I return to the healthy state I was before. Now fully immerse yourself. The moment underwater, complete change. Most people don't notice this. The seconds you spend underwater are very important. Now is the time for you to die, the death of your sick self. Do not hold on to anything, no ideas, not a name, no stake in the outcome. Just let go and let the water's consciousness take over. The water is all around every cell. The water that makes up 70% of your body, your internal ocean, connects with the living seas around you. Contaminated cellular memory starts to move out. Only template information comes in. This is not a metaphor. This is real biological reprogramming. Take slow breaths when you come up for air. You are born again. The Talmud makes this clear. If you immerse yourself in the mikvah with the right intentions, you are legally and emotionally a new person. The old person who came down gave you their illness. The guy who came out is now better. Do this every day for 40 days. Each immersion makes the change stronger, gradually replacing diseased awareness with healthy consciousness and damaged cellular memory with the divine blueprint. The emergency healing protocol.
There is an emergency protocol for times when the mikvah isn't available because of illness or a problem. Fill up a bowl big enough for your hands and wrists to fit into. Put in spring water. Put a white candle where you can see its image in the water and light it. Look at the flame's image and say 7 times the divine name Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh, which means I am that I am. This name has the frequency of pure life, of not having any sickness or limitations. Put both hands completely into the water and picture the healing you need. Take 7 deep breaths and hold them there. Feel the water carrying up your pain, sickness, and disease energy. As soon as you take your hands off the water, drink 3 sips of it right away. The water is now charged with your purpose and the divine name. The amazing story of Miriam's well. Tradition says that Miriam's well, the magical water source that kept Israel alive in the desert, is still there, but it's hidden in the Sea of Galilee. People who find it and drink from it feel their bodies and souls heal right away. But here's the bigger secret. Miriam's well might be connected to every natural water source. Every spring, river, and rain brings back the memory of that first water that healed. You're not making something new when you do these things with full faith and good intentions. Instead, you're remembering what water has always been. You're bringing back its holy memory. You're tapping into the same healing power that kept a whole country alive in the desert for 40 years. Start getting better tonight. Put spring water in a glass. Hold it out in front of your heart with both hands. Say what you need to be healed into the water. Put your pain, fear, and need for help into those molecules. Then you should say, "This water remembers perfection. This water has magical healing power. This water changes sickness into health. Have a drink and trust. It will happen in your body." Water remembers all the time, and hope always leads to healing.